As news reporter April investigates a story about a run of unusual robberies occurring throughout the city, April finds a group of robbers. They are Foot Clan gang member, and suddenly some mysterious creature attack Foot Clan gang and forces them to run from there. Then we see the Foot Clan organization boss, Master Shredder. He orders them to catch the creatures. Then we see that the Foot Clan gang member hijack the subway. April also goes there to see, but they caught her. After that we see that the light is gone in subway by the same mysterious. They easily defeat all the gang members and run from there in the dark. No one see them. April follows them at the top of the roof. They see the April and caught her. When she asks who you are, they answer that they are Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and tell her not to tell anyone about them or they'll find her. Mikey reiterates this, and it's clear he's drawn to April. The turtles flee, but April captures a photo of them from a distance. April rushes home and opens a box containing documentation, photos, and videos about Project Renaissance, on which her father and Sax were working. April watches a film of herself as a child recording in her father's lab pre-mutation, applying a mutagen on the turtles and Splinter. She even knows the previous symbol as indicating family. The turtles try to return to their lair without waking Splinter. He eventually captures them and punishes them by making them balance on specific items until they tell him why they were out on the streets. Splinter humiliates Mikey by luring him with pizza. Mikey admits they were fighting the Foot Clan, and when he hears April's name, Splinter becomes concerned and instructs the turtles to find her. April continues her investigation into the turtles' background. Vern then brings her to the Sax estate, so she may directly question Sax about the project he and Dr. O'Neill were working on. She shows Sax the turtles' photo, and he takes her into his room to tell her about his childhood in Japan, including being abandoned by his father and discovering a legend about a vicious warlord in the area. He hands April his business card. April logs onto her computer to check on the turtles in the subway, only to discover that Donnie has hacked her computer and emailed her a location where she may meet them. She goes alone and the turtles lead her inside their lair. There she meets Splinter, who remembered April before he changed. He tells her that her father was working with Sax and Shredder. But when he discovered that Shredder was planning something bad, Dr. O'Neill burned down the facility, costing him his life. April rescued Splinter and the turtles and led them to the source for their own safety. The mutagen eventually took effect, transforming Splinter into a walking, talking rat who raised the turtles as his kids. The boys were always interested about life above the surface, but Splinter kept them at bay by teaching himself ninjutsu before handing it down to the turtles. Sax truly works for Shredder, and they come by his armor. The Foot Clan is also able to pinpoint the location of the lair. They infiltrate the location, setting off an alarm that alerts the turtles. The Foot soldiers break in and blow up the premises with a bomb. The turtles fight the soldiers, and Splinter gets in on the action himself. Mikey takes April to a safe location before returning to the fight. Shredder enters the lair, fully armored and armed with numerous knives on each arm. He squares off against Splinter, who avoids Shredder's knives and lands a few solid blows. Splinter closes the doors to protect his sons, but they raise them just in time to witness Shredder capture Splinter and drag him before the turtles, threatening to murder him if they don't lay down their weapons. They do so, but Shredder still punches Splinter hard enough to kill him, while the soldiers cattle prod Leo, Donnie, and Mikey, capturing them and blowing up the lair. Raph comes from the wreckage and joins April in burying Splinter. He begs Raph to save his brothers and stop Shredder. Raph prepares to take action. April asks Vern to take her and Raph back to the Sax estate. Vern notices Raph and, though astonished, agrees to drive them. Sax confines Leo, Donnie, and Mikey in cages in his basement laboratory, attempting to extract mutagen containing blood from their blood. His and Shredder's goal is to infect the city with a toxin that will isolate it, then seize control of everyone using the mutagen as a cure. Vern charges through the gate, running over foot soldiers. Raph leaps off the van to find his brothers. Vern and April follow. Raph confronts Shredder alone as April tries to rescue the others by injecting them with adrenaline. This lets them to break out and assist Raph in his fight against Shredder before the villain leaves. Karai and the foot soldiers pursue the heroes as they hijack a truck. The soldiers used an RPG to hit the truck, forcing it to tumble down the mountain. The turtles glide down the mountain on their shells, crashing into or tipping over the Foot Clan trucks. Donnie calculates a large decline that is occurring right now. Karai latches onto Leo as he attempts to save April and Vern, forcing her truck to flip over and crash into a tree. Raph arrives just in time to pick up Leo, April, and Vern. They then travel to the city to fight Shredder. Shredder and Sax return to Sax Tower in order to release the toxin. While the turtles battle Shredder, April and Vern go in search of the mutagen. Mikey yells "Cowabunga!" as they charge in. The turtles attack Shredder, but he proves to be a formidable foe. Meanwhile, April secures the mutagen. While Vern knocks Sax unconscious, the turtles then collaborate on a move that lets them to push Shredder off the roof. As Shredder pulls himself back up, Donnie goes to block the toxin's discharge. Donnie is able to stop the release with a second to spare. The turtles then try to stop Shredder from destroying the top of the tower. April gets to the roof and shows Shredder the mutagen to distract him. The top of the tower collapses as Shredder leaps at April, throwing them both off. The turtles struggle to save April while they cling to life. Shredder tries to finish them off, but Leo tosses his katana at him, forcing Shredder to lose balance and tumble to the ground. The tower's top collapses, taking April and the turtles with it. Raph says his bravado was motivated by worry for his siblings, and he admits he loves them. Just as he discovers they've landed safely, they go back to the sewers. Slightly, the turtles obtain a mutagen in order to resurrect Splinter. He is proud of his boys. April later runs into Vern, who is showing off his new automobile. The turtles arrive in their own vehicle to thank April for her assistance. Mikey then inadvertently launches a rocket, destroying Vern's automobile. The turtles offer to drive them, but April insists on using the metro. Mikey sings Happy Together to April as they drive away. She beams,